My name is Joanna Erskine and I'm the writer of Boot. Boot is the story of the breakdown of a friendship between two teenage girls, the basis of which is around a decision that is made after a teenage house party where Dana and Julia make the decision to get into a car, and we see the fallout of their friendship because of what happens this night.
I'm so sick of talking about the boys. Do you even remember what we used to talk about before?
No. That's the address. Let's go.
So I wrote Boot originally as a monologue. It was written at the National Studio, which was with ATYP. The actual situation for writing it was a stimulus exercise, actually. We were all asked to bring along objects. I remember I brought along a ring and we kind of put them on the table and shared them around, and I ended up with a key ring that was actually an Air France key ring. Obviously I had been inspired and it had been ticking away in my head for a long time about a true story that had happened when I was about a couple of years older than the kids involved, of a car accident in Sydney. And when I was given this key ring, I went away and I sat down with my pen and paper. I heard a voice, and the voice was Dana's, and it was strong and it was clear and she had a lot to say. And she was in that car, and it was amazing that after all these years it had stuck, and in that moment, just through looking at this key ring, it came out and the story flowed from there.
Oh, I can drive you.
You're not even coming.
Well, I can drop you there and just bring the car back tomorrow.
Fine.
I definitely do see myself in Dana. She's very much basing herself around this character of Julia. Julia is a strong, dominant personality and Dana isn't. Whatever Julia does, Dana is responsive to. And I definitely find my teenage self in Dana, because I definitely spent my high school years trying to figure out who I was, and everything that I did was in response to other people that I thought I should admire and should respect, and without finding my own identity. So when the choice comes to Dana to, decide whether to go in the car or not, she's making an adult decision, but she's not ready to make that decision, and she has to deal with the consequences.
Julia!
Are you okay? Julia! I'm fucked. I'm so fucked.
Boot was originally a monologue that was performed as part of a production called Tell It Like It Isn't, which was a group of young voices all around the same age, written by young writers through Fresh Inc.'s The Voices project. And after that, Dan from Fresh Inc. approached Damien Power, who's a film director and writer, to adapt some of the monologues, and I was contacted about whether I was interested in turning Boot into a film. It's interesting as a writer because you're so inside the work, you can really only see it from your perspective, and especially when it's a monologue, you're only seeing it from that specific voice. And in that case, it's Dana telling the story and the events of the night, and we don't hear anyone else's voices. She talks about what they do, but we don't hear or know who they were. But Damien said, what happens to those boys in the boot? What's happening in there? And that was really interesting, because through that angle, we got to discover who those boys were. We got their voices, we got to hear them, and it brought humour and warmth to the piece, which was a really exciting avenue to explore.
If anyone farts near, they're a fucking dead man.
But I reckon I could go, Dana.
Yeah, no chance.
Fucking me at my fucking nuts.
So being on set was completely overwhelming in a great way. It was amazing how many people were there, and the production values, and watching Damien in action. There were 3 cars, there were amazing sets, we were moving around, there were vans, there were lights. And I just had a moment where I thought, everyone is here because I wrote some words on a page. And it was a really humbling thought.
Why won't you talk to me? Everyone hates me now. They all think that I killed the boys. And I know what I did and I know what I said, but I need you to say something. Can you please say something?
I didn't ask you to lie, Donna.
Megan and Lucy were incredible young actors. They were very different characters than I imagined Dana and Julia to be, which was fantastic. It got me to see them in a new perspective. What the film has is a beautiful sense of foreboding as well as fun. Being in the moment, you kind of know that something's going to happen, but you do get carried away. And when it was shown in the cinema on the big screen, that was, you know, an amazing experience in itself, because the audience was, you know, rollicking and roaring with laughter around me. And then I did feel sorry again that the end was going to come. It was a really powerful film, and I was really proud of it.